Yes, my lord. serve.
Is casting a spell. Your magic shield is under normal strength. Enemy hero is casting a spell.
Fire!
The enemy hero is casting a spell. Your spell was absorbed. The enemy started to capture one of your locations. The enemy hero is casting a spell. Enemy units have captured a location.
Fire!
The enemy hero is casting a spell. The enemy hero is casting a spell. Your spell was absorbed. The enemy has cast a spell. The enemy hero is casting a spell. A spell was cast. Your spell was absorbed. Victory is near. A spell has been cast.
Yes, my lord. On my way.
Yes, my king! All right.
Ready to serve.
Ready to serve. On my way.
Ready to serve. On my way.
Mad Septimus Sulla rules his so-called empire, the former Roman province of Iberacum, with immortal ghost legionaries. He sacrifices his people to defend the war against the northern hordes, and he wants to expand his territory. You have to find the Roman noblemen who know his weaknesses. Following the advice of the Empress Navia, you've reached one of the biggest peninsulas on the western shores. The view is nearly perfect from the ridge. You can even catch glimpses of the sun shining on the sea from there. The weather is clear, so you can see the whole peninsula. There is a deep forest to your right, reaching down to the seashore, hills to your left, and a ravine right in front of you. At the other end of the crescent-shaped ridge, a ruined fort endures the wrath of the gales. The day passes uneventfully until dusk. Only one of the scouts returns from the ravine, but he didn't find any trace of the rebels. The other scout, however, hasn't come back at all, so you break camp and set off to look for them. The ravine once used to be a river. The forest covers the whole area and reaches to the sea, where it becomes a briny swamp. Crumbling skeletons and rusty weapons in the undergrowth tell you that this place was a battleground in ancient times. Your soldiers find a scroll closed with a magical seal. You don't have time for a thorough examination, but you keep the strange item and order your warriors to move on. You divide your army into smaller groups and advance through the hills. This is an ideal place for an ambush, so you send your scouts to the hilltops. Soon they report back about a dozen dead legionaries and a few slaughtered Fomorians. Shortly after the discovery of the dead legionaries, a band of marauding Fomorians attacks you. You successfully eliminate them without too many casualties, but you get injured in the fight. It is already getting dark by the time you leave the hills, so you have to find a place where you can set up your camp for the night. Staring at the flames of the campfire, you think about your choices. Suddenly you realize you may be able to find the rebels if you look for their campfires from higher ground. The scouts return soon after midnight and report that they saw lights from the open sea flickering like small signal fires. Maybe the rebels get supplies by boat. The boat has already left by the time you arrive at the sandy shore, but some men are still carrying chests into the forest. They are protected by soldiers, so when you reach the moonlit shore, you raise your hand to show your peaceful intentions. The armed men surround you and order you to follow them, then take you to their leader. He introduces himself as Tullius Caracalla and asks you about your business here. When you mention the name of the Empress, Tullius Caracalla waves the soldiers away, then escorts you to his tent. After you clarify that your warriors are not mercenaries, he asks you what do you intend to do with Iberacum after the defeat of the Emperor. The nobleman ponders the possibilities for a long time. He might even think about refusing to help you in the name of the Roman nobles and the Senate. Finally, he asks you why you were searching for the camp.
To close a gate, one has to break the seal that keeps it open. You must destroy or take away the crystals that were used to construct the seals. The first gate is in the marshes to the west. The second one is in an old monastery where Fomorians dwell. And the third is in the vicinity of the wall and opens in the Caracalla Manor. First, we have to seize Iberacum. If the city is ours, we can prevent the Emperor summoning the Colossi to the wall. Or we can use these arcane constructs for our own purposes.
After the negotiations are over, you return to your army waiting for you in the ravine. Then you leave the peninsula. Following the negotiations, Tullius Caracalla sends one of his lieutenants to join your army and help you to defeat the mad emperor. The young Roman champion is skilled both in the ways of battle and in the arcane secrets of the Caracalla family. He can be of great service to you.
Yes, my lord.
Yes? Ready to serve.
Your magic shield is fading.
Fire! Fire!
Your spell was absorbed. Your magic shield is under normal strength. Your spell was absorbed. The enemy started to capture one of your locations. Your units are in danger.
Fire!
A spell has been cast. Enemy units have captured a location. Your soldiers are going to die. Enemy hero is casting a spell.
Fire!
The enemy has cast a spell. Your unit is going to die. Your soldiers are going to die. The enemy has cast a spell.
Fire!
Your hero is in grave danger. Your hero is in grave danger. The enemy has cast a spell.
Fire!
Your units are in danger. Cast a spell. A spell was cast. The enemy hero is casting a spell. enemy has cast a spell.
Fire!
The enemy hero is casting a spell. The enemy hero is casting a spell.
Fire!
Enemy hero is casting a spell. Your soldiers are going to die.
Ready to serve. Yes, my liege. On my way. Yes, my lord.
Ready to serve.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, my king.
On my way. On my way.
Your wish? All right.
Ready to serve.
The enemy hero is casting a spell. Your men are going to die. spell has been cast. Weather conditions changed. Is casting a spell. Your soldiers are going to die. A spell has been cast. A spell has been cast. A spell has been cast. Weather conditions change. spell has been cast. A spell has been cast. Your magic shield is under normal strength. Your unit is going to die. A spell has been cast. A spell was cast. Weather conditions changed. Enemy units have captured a location. has cast a spell. Weather conditions changed. Weather conditions changed.
On my way.
Yes, my king!
The Sealies of the She Court in Viraconium are willing to help you.
As a proud Welshman, King Dafydd never liked to be a part of Arthur's kingdom, and he was among the first to declare independence when news of Arthur's condition began to spread. However, the cataclysm and the return of the dragons to Wales has changed his tone. he might be ready to negotiate. However, technically he has committed high treason, so he will look upon any overture with mistrust. If you wish to open talks with him, the first step would be an assurance of safety. King Aldrich was one of your father's most loyal vassals, and also his greatest critic. Though they had tremendous respect for each other, Aldrich often openly disagreed with Arthur's methods. He believes the cataclysm was a result of some of your father's decisions, which is why he went his separate way. But this does not mean that there can be no peace between your kingdoms. There are new quarries in the hills of Poet that provide cheap stones as building material. Penguin has begun to form a proper army, one which relies heavily upon veterans of the fierce struggles that followed the cataclysm. This suggests the idea that you might take advantage of the good relations between your two kingdoms and organize a joint military exercise for both armies. You could surely benefit from the skills of their famous archers. The master bowmakers of Sherwood fled to Pengwern to escape Sir Maric's revolt. As a result, the archers of the army of Pengwern have achieved a fearful reputation. If you could reach a beneficial trade agreement with Pengwern, you could equip your archers with masterwork bows. Long ago, the kingdom of Elmet came to realize that they required a force of legionaries, fine warriors who over the years have gained legendary fame for their skill in battling the Fomorians. You could certainly use such warriors in your army.
Ready to serve.
Your wish? On my way! Yes?
Yes, my lord.
Yes, my lord!
On my way. On my way. Ready to serve.
Yes? On my way!
Yes, my liege.
The Regent of Medisham has built an extensive trade network across all the remaining regions of Britannia and the territories beyond. The nobles of the Sidhe normally place no value on pacts with humans, but their tenuous position in this realm and their inability to return to Tir na Nog has presented them with an exceptional situation. Certainly, the thought of attacking them in their own stronghold is a foolish notion at best, but they might appreciate an assurance of peace nevertheless. The Sidhe Council has been the most secretive of all the keepers of arcane secrets. However, now they are stranded in Viraconium, cut off from their magical land of Tir na Nog, and they desperately require resources. They are willing to share some of their secrets for a price.
Yes, my lord. On my way.
On my way! All right.
The Sealies of the She Court in Viraconium are willing to help you if you bring them the Crystal of Oberon. This artifact is in Wales, in the Lost Monastery, where zealous guards keep it in a small iron chest. The counselors give you a medallion that hides your existence from the dragons which circle over the skies of Wales, so you reach the monastery without incident. The hall of the monastery is big and somewhat resembles the temples built by the Roman invaders. It is getting dark outside. The abbot invites you to supper, and you gladly accept his invitation. You follow the abbot to a corridor. You pass a room on the way. The door is open, and you see 3 soldiers beating up a prisoner. They are doing a very thorough job. The prisoner is in a terrible shape, but he stays quiet, protecting himself with his hands. The interruption leads to confusion. The prisoner tries to flee, but since you are blocking his way, he can't escape. One of the guards stabs him to death. When he slumps to the floor, his corpse turns into a Fomorian right in front of your eyes. The abbot kneels down to investigate the corpse, but he keeps on talking to you. It is a strange building, full of mysteries. I have got used to it over the years. The prisoner and the soldiers might not exist at all, just like this monster. Or maybe they are all real. The cadaver of the demon crumbles to dust. You stare at the soldiers, but the abbot nods to you, indicating that you should follow him. You walk into the refectory where the monks are eating supper. Do sit down and tell me what made you cross the dangerous borders of Wales. Those who don't seek anything find nothing in this monastery, says the abbot. After supper we will show you to your room. It's far from luxurious, but it's clean. We will send you on your way in the morning. The Crystal of Oberon hidden in an iron chest? Wonders the abbot. I've never heard about it, but honestly, nobody is familiar with all the secrets and treasures of the Lost Monastery. And what will you do with the crystal? Will you give it to the She or to the Christians? Splendid! The abbot seems to like your answer. The supper has already ended, so the old priest asks you to follow him to the archives. You'll have to talk to Brother Cornelius, he says. He can help you. When you arrive at the scriptorium of the monastery, you are amazed to see hundreds of manuscripts and scrolls. An old monk waves you closer from a table at the opposite wall. Have you even begun your journey? He asks. Or was it in vain? It doesn't matter. I'm very busy right now. So we should decide it the way you usually do with a heroic struggle. However, the world fades to black before you could answer. You are in a room now where you see a dagger-wielding demon attacking you. You don't have time to think over the frightening phantoms of the monastery. You have to defend yourself. After a fierce fight, you overcome the Fomori. When the battle is over, you find yourself in a small room. You see an iron chest with its lid open. There is a translucent piece of crystal inside. It is as big as a human heart. You take the gem and leave through the only door you see. You do not bat an eyelid when you see that the door opens into the hall of the monastery. You quickly leave this strange and creepy place. Join your army and head back to Viraconium to the She Court.
On my way!
Ready to serve. On my way. On my way.
How I long to leave the glittering city and be on my way to find my master. I'm sure the council would be glad to play these ridiculous games with me for an eternity. But once they see that I have completed all their tasks, they must grant my wishes for a change. They have granted me permission to fight Nimue in a challenge of spirit and will. I am about to enter her fading tower, where I will make her beg before I allow her to give me my answers. All right.
Yes, my lord.
shield is under normal strength. A spell was cast. A spell was cast. The enemy hero is casting a spell. Your spell was absorbed. Your spell was absorbed. The enemy hero is casting a spell. Has cast a spell. Your soldiers are going to die. The enemy hero is casting a spell. A spell was cast. A gate was destroyed. The enemy hero is casting a spell. The enemy has cast a spell. The enemy hero is casting a spell. A spell has been cast. The enemy hero is casting a spell. The enemy has cast a spell. A spell has been cast. A spell has been cast. The enemy hero is casting a spell. 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 A spell was cast. The enemy hero is casting a spell. A spell was cast. The enemy hero is casting a spell. A spell was cast. Your soldiers are going to die. spell was cast. The enemy has cast a spell. Your unit is going to die. Spell was cast. Enemy has cast a spell. A spell was cast. Your unit is going to die.
Fire!
Your men are going to die. The enemy has cast a spell. A spell has been cast. A spell has been cast. The enemy has cast a spell. A spell has been cast. A spell was cast. The enemy started to capture one of your locations. A spell has been cast. Enemy units have captured a location. Enemy units broke through the gate.
Fire! Fire!
The enemy has cast a spell. A spell has been cast. A spell has been cast.
Fire!
The enemy started to capture one of your locations.
Fire!
The enemy started to capture one of your locations. Enemy units have captured a location. A spell was cast. The enemy has cast a spell. the enemy started to capture one of your locations. A spell has been cast.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Ready to serve. Ready to serve. Ready to serve. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. On my way.
Your wish? All right.
The Regent of Medisham is dedicated to maintaining the growth of his province, even in the face of constant Fomorian threats. Unfortunately, he lacks the necessary financial means. If you were to invest in his plan, your diplomatic relations would surely benefit, and you should expect a return on your investment as well. The Regent of Medisham has built an extensive trade network across all the remaining regions of Britannia and the territories beyond. This grants them access to weapons and armor that surpass in quality even the masterworks of the smithies in Eboracum. They also trade in rare herbs. If you could make a profitable trade agreement with the Regent, your armies would surely benefit.
On my way. On my way. On my way.
All right.
Having completed all your tasks, you issued the challenge of free spirit to Nimue. The council was unwilling to grant your request at first, but your supporters convinced them you're right to do so. Now you are standing before the Fading Tower, preparing for the duel. There is a small crowd at the gates of the Fading Tower. You stand amongst the members of the She Council, your supporters, and Yedna the Seer, awaiting Nimue's arrival. She is late, and it is probably intentional. It must be her way of showing her disdain towards you. duel begins, the laws of reality will cease to bind your spirit. You will be able to turn into any creature your mind is capable of bringing into existence. Your goal is to become something that can defeat the creature Nimue turned into. The duel has 3 stages. Each stage will take you to a new place, where you will fight for a few minutes. If one of you comes close to delivering the final blow, the duel ends. At that point, the winner is granted one command, which the loser is magically bound to obey. The Fading Tower suppresses most magic, so no, you cannot use spells. Some artifacts retain their power in there, but they will most likely be destroyed if they are used during the duel. The wounds suffered during the duel are most definitely real, but they will affect your spirit instead of your body. If you were to die, you would lose your free will completely and become a mindless puppet. But don't worry, the duel will be stopped before that. Nimue finally arrives with a gleeful smile, wearing a beautifully carved symbol of Nuada around her neck. A powerful artifact, no doubt. The Icethorn Prince loudly objects to its presence, then he storms over to you in anger. I will not allow her to make me look like a fool by letting you be defeated, he roars. Here, take my bracers. They shall protect you from both fire and cold. Make sure Nimue's thoroughly humiliated, and you can keep it. As he leaves, the Emerald Lady steps closer too. Nuada's power makes this fight unfair, even with those bracers. But a pendant of health should restore the proper balance. If you can win without using up its power, you have earned it. Nimue has a quick mind. She is likely to transform first, but you can use that to your advantage. Consider her shape before choosing your own. Also, the environment will affect your ability to fight, so you must take that into account too before choosing a shape. The main hall of the Fading Tower seems rather innocuous. But when you move into the center with Nimue, you feel immense energies coursing through the air. The council members form a circle and the walls fade away, taking you both into a different realm. The challenge begins. You find yourself in a summer forest clearing, beside a shallow pool. You're still trying to adjust to your surroundings when Nimue turns into a large firebird and flies at you, ready to breathe fire. You must quickly think of something, or this will be a very short duel. You swoop into the air, trying to get above Nimue's back. She attempts to breathe fire on you several times, but you're too quick, and she misses. Unfortunately, you are much smaller, and fail to do serious harm to her either. It seems you are evenly matched thus far. The next stage takes you into a volcanic cavern. Hundreds of sharp obsidian spikes protrude around you. The earth rumbles beneath your feet, and the high-pitched shrieks of the wind make your ears hurt. Nimue turns into a giant spider and skitters towards you, ready to attack. This turns out to be the perfect shape for the fight. Your thick scales dull and break the spikes. Your fiery breath makes your opponent flee from you in panic. Only her powerful artifact keeps you from making short work of her, and even that breaks when the round ends. The final stage is a breathtaking sight. You stand beneath a great crystal dome, odd-shaped prisms, and she statues all around you, bathing in daylight, their surfaces etched with runes. Nimue utters a few gleeful, ancient words, and impenetrable darkness creeps over the place. She transforms in the dark and lets out a growl that chills your bones. She must be a shadow cat, a mystical predator from Tir na Nog. You almost panic when an idea strikes you, for Mori also see in the dark. Using the shape of the hated enemy would no doubt be a nasty surprise. If it hadn't been for your idea, the powerful creature would have had a decisive advantage. But a Fomorian hound is more than a match for it. After a prolonged battle and incurring several wounds which destroy your pendant, you stand above Nimue, ready to strike her down. The tower starts to fade back to the central hall, but Nimue suddenly casts an unknown spell, and the world twists and turns around you. Your senses are overwhelmed by weird feelings of being in two places at once. Then the world goes dark. You wake up in the fading tower, with Yedna's concerned face above you. She escaped, the seer says. She somehow figured out the tower's secret and traveled far to the north, robbing you of your victory.
We shall,
Emerald Lady replies.
but this tower has lost its way. Nimue made sure of that, so you'll need to use another. Unfortunately, there aren't many of them left, and the closest one is beyond what you call Hadrian's Wall. She escaped before the bond between your minds could form, but we wish to help you claim your rightful prize from her. We shall cast a battle sigil on you to help you on your travels.
The sigil ritual takes little time, and you soon find yourself back on the road. You quietly reflect on your experience among your half-brothers and sisters. Then you turn your gaze towards the horizon. You still have a long way to go before you find your master.
Yes, my king! Your wish?
Yes, my lord.
Yes, my lord!
Yes, my lord.
Yes?
Yes, my lord.
Ready to serve.
Yes, my liege. On my way. Ready to
Yes,
serve.
my king! Yes, my lord!